Hello and welcome to the Faces of Africa Pocket Edition, where we dissect and discuss the topics covered in our weekly documentary show, which takes you through the continent's history, cultures, and major issues through exploring great personalities. From the Faces of Africa podcast, we have Kalthum Mohammed from Nigeria. We have an interesting documentary from that country in relation with the Peace Foundation she has, together with talking about the security situation there. So Kalthum, thank you so much for making time for us on Faces of Africa. I just want to understand from your perspective, first off, how has the experience been having the foundation before we get into where did it start? How has the experience been?
Well, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy due to cultural beliefs and so on. And also even the religious aspect. So it wasn't easy. With the cultural aspects, our people here doesn't see non-governmental activists or actors, humanitarian actors. They doesn't seem to accept women as part of it at first. They see it as a role of men, not women. So it's a big challenge, and it wasn't easy. And also by the religious aspect, traveling, if you are doing such kind of activities, sometimes you have to travel here and there, sometimes raising funds and so on and so forth. So it wasn't easy at all for me. If I am to travel outside for some certain kilometers, I have to look for my blood brother, Muharram. That is somebody that is related to me closely, and that person, I can't marry that person. So like a brother or sister or mother or father. So I have to travel with someone like that, and so it wasn't easy. All this, a lot of restrictions and so on. Very hard. Women are not carried along at the humanitarian cycle.
I totally understand, because I also come from a similar background to yours in terms of what the religion states about, a woman traveling by herself from one place to another. So I know that usually is a challenge. I also struggle with that sometimes, so I can relate. But also, just now, how has it been? How did you eventually get out of that situation and make it happen?
Well, with time, everything changes. Things changes. Mm-hmm. Time change everything. So at first, my family, even the activity, the humanitarian services that we render, when the idea of creating the organization came into my mind. So I met my aunt. That's my late aunt as my mother. So I met her and then discussed about it. I explained to her everything, and she said, "Okay, you can discuss about it with your father. If he accepts it, fine. But just starting it like that, he may stop you from maybe later on. He may stop you from running the activities." So I met him and then explained everything to him, and he welcomed the idea. He was okay with that, and he was happy, even though he couldn't understand it well, because as a then NGO, non-governmental organizations, was a new thing here. It was a new thing here, so it's so. But I tried to explain to him for him to understand it, and he understood.
The foundation initially was not even supposed to be for medical care only, right? Did things change? What was the initial mission for this particular organization, your Peace Foundation?
It's into peace building, conflict management. We render sexual and gender-based violence, SGBV services. We are into SGBV activities. And so it was, it started in the main activities, we started in 2015, but the main activities, we had a mega rally in 2017, 1st February. So in coalition with Northeast against terrorism, it was an organization. There was an organization that came from the UK, and so we partnered with them. They came with fund, and I had the idea, and then that's how we started. So we had the biggest mega rally here in Borno State, in Maiduguri, at which consists of 5,000 people, people from the Northeast region. People attended the program, which I made a clarion call to the insurgent groups to surrender, embrace peace, because as at then there was an open safe haven corridor initiative. There was a safe haven corridor initiative which was created by the Nigerian military. So I try to make a clarion call for them to accept, to embrace peace, drop down their weapons, and then come through the Safe Haven Corridor Initiative, and then they would be accepted. And from there, the program continue through media platforms. The programs that we usually do was a campaign. We do sensitization. We create awareness on importance of girl child education, because girls doesn't go to school. They see the importance of just men to go to school, but women are left behind as at then. So we encourage girls, and we do sensitization. We create awareness. We go to IDP camps and so on. So how we came to medical, it was not that long ago. I think it was last year, due to the our access into inaccessible areas, and we work in 3 non-inaccessible locations, gray areas here in Borno State, which we are planning to expand more locations next year.
Even as a Muslim woman, an area that has the Boko Haram insurgents, were there any stereotypes? Did you face any challenges with regard to that?
Yeah, sometimes I have fear. I get fear. I have a fear in my mind sometimes, because they are unpredictable people, and everyone is scared of them, and it's like that. So there is that fear. They are unpredictable. You can't predict them. You can't say these people are these people. No, they may change. So it's like that.
What about the community itself, away from the general thinking of what a woman is supposed to do? When you had already started the organization, are they welcoming up until now? Do they feel like you're doing something good for them?
At first, people see it as if they see it as new thing, because as a girl, because I started it when I was 21 years old, and so I was young. So people see it as it's not a work for a young girl, like a young lady like that. It's made, and some people think, some elderly women complain sometimes that she's even young. We can even give birth to her. Why is she rendering those kind of services? And it's this kind of services, we are supposed to render it, and so on. We are supposed to do this kind of work. So it's type of these are the types of challenges. The work is meant for men, not for women. Women are to stay at home. They are to get married, give birth to children, and just stay at home like that. So it's like that. But later on, with time changed everything. So now I become like a role model to people here.
Right. Just now, in your opinion, maybe, what do you think the government needs to do to support an organization like yours in Nigeria?
Well, the government should encourage people like us. They should encourage, but for us, at least, we are working with the government hand in hand. Like for the medical activities, we have to sign a memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Health, that is the government, before we implement any project. So we work with the government hand in hand. And in some other ways also, we work with the government. So the government has been supporting us. We work together, we work hand in hand. But I think more need to be done.
Where do you hope to see the foundation in the near future? What's your goals and aspirations right now for the Kalthum Peace Foundation?
My hope is to see Kalthum Foundation gets his permanent office, because now we are renting the office. So it's not easy for us paying the rent, moving helter and skelter to pay each and every year. So I'm hoping to see that KFP one day in a permanent office. That is one. And two, we get operational vehicles, because now we are using rental vehicles. So I'm hoping to see that. And then I'm hoping to see that KFP expands its services to the Northeast region and even Northwest, like the Yobe, Adamawa State, like the Sokoto, Zamfara, Katsina states, Kaduna, and so on. So, and also, we are hoping and dreaming to see that the dream come to reality for us to render services in the neighboring countries like the Chad, Niger, Cameroon. So that's what we are hoping to see in the future.
Wow, definitely. The continent will need you for sure. So thank you for that. I think it's been an interesting conversation. Thank you so much for your time. See you next time.